The question that is dividing the internet: red or blue button? I read red and blue backwards, but that's because the image right here says red or blue. It's kind of confusing that it's blue or red, then right here it's red or blue.
True.
Everyone in the world has to take a private vote by pressing a red or blue button. If more than 50% of people press the blue button, everyone survives. If less than 50% of people press the blue button, only people who press the red button survive. Which button do you press?
Oof. Okay.
I want to hear trash straight out the gate. I'm so interested in what trash would pick.
I'll tell you how I approach these. I just don't think and I push one.
Sick. That's good.
There's no point. There's no reason to even think. I'll just go on instinct. Like, boom, blue, because I hate red.
Okay.
When I grew up, red. So when I grew up, we would never buy things that were red, like a red lighter or get a red car, because I would like if you drove a red car that brought more attention to you for the cops or something.
Okay.
So red's always been like a superstitious color. So I'm just like, boom, blue. That's all. That's my thought process there.
Good.
Really, like trash. Is that really it? So I just got done reading that potentially half the people on Earth will die, and your response is, because cops will pull over red cars more, I press blue button.
I'm gonna have to rethink my answer now based on this.
That is literally what happened. Am I alive? I'm alive, right?
Well,
in this
you are actually in the risky spot.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're kind of on a knife's edge, trash.
Yeah.
If I die quickly, it's fine.
Okay. Okay.
I just vanish.
That's a good point. There's
Avengers.
a lot of unknowns still in this poll that I would like to know a little more info about.
Yeah, but literally, always been allergic to red my whole life. That's just how it is. Sorry.
All right.
Okay. What if they were switched to A or B? Trash. Would that affect it at all?
I would pick B because my last name starts with B. Boom.
Trash, for having such like a human pivotal answer poll, you have the dumbest reasons I've ever heard for picking either
Well,
or.
it's because these conversations deserve no thought process.
Based.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I'll take that.
All right.
So I'm not going to stress, because ultimately it probably means nothing at the end of the day. So I'm very good at just dude, I'm not going to waste my brain cells on this. Boom, easy answer.
True. He's in the queue for Pokemon. He doesn't have time for this.
That's
I'm
a
in a
good
bad
point.
mood. I didn't get my Pokemon card.
That's
today,
sorry. We'll ask
He
you
actually
tomorrow.
lost on the Pokemon queue, so he's not even in a queue anymore. He's just a loser.
I'm in a
at the end
bad
of the
mood
day.
right now.
I feel like you have VP potential, trash, because someone who's like, look, I don't choose red or blue. I have someone else choose red or blue for me. I feel like you have that a very down to earth business perspective here. It's
I'm very good at just
It's like if
making
I had time to
decisions.
think about red versus blue, I wouldn't even I wouldn't be where I am today. Who cares? Blue.
Honestly,
Next question.
Yes. I'm very compulsive. I'm just I'm going to do that.
I like it.
I'm going to do it.
All right, so how many people, when they hear red versus blue, do you think of Halo?
Me.
Okay.
Right here.
That's what I grew up on. So when I saw red versus blue, when I saw this first show up, I was just like, I like red versus blue.
You're killing me, Merge Cop. That little stunt of yours turned into a 6-hour post-mortem.
He's merging abroad! You have the right to remain silent.
Come on, Commish. That code wasn't clean and you know
I don't got time for this. Them RCs are being vandalized across the city.
The Diffler.
No. The Diffler's a myth.
The Diffler's out there, and I'm gonna be the one to deprecate him.
You need to focus on your JIRA tickets, not chasing a ghost. No more cowboy coding for you. I'm assigning you a partner.
A partner? You can't do this to me. I am a lone wolf. I'm an IC. I do not need some deadweight junior dev holding me back.
No, you're not reverting this one, Merge Cop. He might actually teach you a thing or two. He did graduate top of his class with a flawless CI record. Merge Cop, meet your partner, Lieutenant Squash.
Pleasure to knit your acquaintance.
Merge Cop! Merge Cop!
Unit tests, functional tests, end-to-end tests, acceptance tests.
Performance tests, load tests, stress tests, math tests, system tests, internationalization
Attention all units. There has been a reporting of a Diffler sighting at a local cafe.
Copy. We're on it. It's our chance to get the Diffler. Get in!
compatibility tests. I just was throwing more kinds of tests.
Shut it, Twish. It's time to get the Diffler.
Sanity tests, snapshot tests.
Smell that?
I've been telling him I need new
Smells.
boots.
Got a problem? Put it in my bag. If it ain't about the money, the sex overflowing, you running out of runway like you're in a boat.
Squish, stay in the car. I'm about to force my fist in the Diffler's face.
We have to stick to the process.
What do you think you're doing?
Building in public?
Wrong answer, Diffler.
I know my rights. This is just a side project.
What is Merge Cop even doing? I'm working on my side project. I don't even need him. I'm using CodeRabbit. With something like CodeRabbit, it's like having a code founder always watching my back. I'm not gonna leak customer information. I'm always gonna be up to date on coding best practices. You don't believe me?
You can try it too at coderabbit.ai.
Next week on Merge Cop.
I'm on your dick like a pea. Oh, I know you're the Diffler.
Casey, what is your opinions here?
Well, this is a tough one because I think if you look at the two, so it depends on how much empathy you have, I guess is what I would say, what you're going to pick. Because as I think we just had demonstrated to us, you know that a lot of people are going to pick blue for whatever reason. Like, that's just a given, right? So the fact that if the entire world, just everyone pushed red, that would be the safest bet because we all know that we would survive and then no one would have to die because we'd all hit red. What we know is a lot of people, including people we like Trash, will pick blue for some reason.
Hold on. Time out. I think I just zoned out on the explanation of red versus blue here.
Yes, we know that. That's what you just said.
No,
I don't.
No, Trash. You are dead. You don't get to be a part of this.
Hold on. What? Can we rewind?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, of course.
What's the explanation here? 'Cause
Trash,
whatever Casey's talking about, I have no recollection of at all.
I have never been more disappointed in you ever because I read it out nicely for you.
No, you want to know why I stopped paying attention? Because you were saying button really weird. And I was thinking about calling you out on it, and that's all I could think about. He was like blue or red button, and he said button like that. And then as soon as he said button like that, I like completely stopped listening, and I was like, I can't listen to him anymore.
What's happening on the stand-up?
Okay. Read the paragraph again.
Am I saying button wrong?
You said button. You said it like that, but then you changed it, like when you said it again. Then you said it normal, and then you said button again because I think you're trying to read really slow. Yeah. So, anyways, that's all I could think about. So that's literally why.
All right, let me just read it to you again, Trash, just in case.
Okay, read it.
Everyone in the world has to take a private vote by pressing a red or blue button. If more than 50% of people press the blue button, everyone survives. If less than 50% of the people press the blue button, only the people who press the red button survive. Which button would you press?
Same answer. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know. You never know.
What do you mean you never know? What does that mean? What does that mean? Here, let me restate the question. Can I restate the question?
I'm going to be honest. I stopped listening again, and I just
Trash.
did not really hear.
Let me restate the question.
Yeah.
I could not pay attention. If more people push the blue button, everyone survives.
Thanos was right.
No, Trash. Hold on.
Thanos was right.
Just hold on.
I can't pay attention to the whole thing.
Listen to the sound of my voice, Trash.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone who presses the red button survives. In any scenario. So if you press the red button, you survive. If you press the blue button, you only survive if more than 50% of the world presses the blue button. That's the question. Which one do you push?
Say that again?
If you press the red button, you definitely survive. Always.
Okay, that's fine.
In all outcomes. If you press the blue button, you only survive if more than 50% of the people in the world press the blue button.
Yeah, what's wrong with red?
Also, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just asking which one you want to push.
Oh, you guys making me feel bad for pushing red. Yeah, I'm pushing red. What's
I
happening
thought
here?
you were pushing blue before.
Oh shit, I did pick blue before.
What the
yeah. You're right. I completely forgot.
What's going on?
Okay,
No.
sorry. Dude, I'm like all over the okay.
No.
Yeah. We pushing red, dude. I'm not scared. Yeah.
You had a whole thing. You were like, I don't ever push red because the cops get me, or whatever. It was like they're gonna pull over my car. What
I
happened
really
to
have
that
no
whole
recollection
thing?
of me saying that. So I'm sorry I said it. I'm pushing red.
Oh my gosh.
You want to know why I kept not listening? Is because my AirPods kept switching to my phone, so then I fixed it. And then my wife's in the bathroom outside my office, and I heard her flush the toilet. So then I started focusing on that. So I had to. Dude, it's bad. But red. Let's go. All right.
Thank you.
All right. So Casey, in this red versus blue button situation, how would you proceed?
What I was trying to say before, but then circumstances
they change.
Have changed, but still. The problem with the question, like I said, is I think a lot of people will push blue. Even though the easiest answer for humanity is everyone pushes red, that way you don't have to trust anybody and everyone survives, right? The problem is a bunch of people will push blue for whatever reason. Either they're very scared of red, like trash, or they might interpret the question in a different way. They might interpret it, even if they understand logically what's going on, they might be like, which world do I want to live in? Like a high trust world where we're all going to do what's best for everybody? Or are we going to live in a world where I only do what's best for me, right? And so, that to me is the problem, is it's like, you're kind of asking how much empathy does the person have if they logically understand the question, and then also how much empathy they have for people who don't understand any logic at all, because a bunch of people are just going to not have any idea what it means and think that they should push blue for some reason, and all those people are going to die if if all the logical people just press red and inflate that number, right? So I feel like it's a really hard question for that reason. The obvious answer is just to push red if you're just motivated by self-preservation. And the answer, if you're a very empathetic kind of just trying to save people who can't save themselves or who are irrationally scared of red because of the cops, then you want to push blue to try and help skew those numbers. I don't honestly know what I would pick in this situation because I'm the kind of person who would immediately just ask what is this button connected to? How did you, my immediate thought process is, what is the circumstance? The reason I don't like these things like trolley problems and whatever is I'm they don't really get at anything about humans because they're so fanciful that humans' normal process of making decisions, such as, I need to get my Pokemon cards and my wife flushed the toilet and I don't like the color red, all of which are normal, actual strategies for getting through life. They don't work when you have this weird thing that can't possibly exist. We don't even know how to build a button that kills only the blue button pushing people. That's, we don't have that, or whatever. So I would say, I don't know. I'd probably push red because I'm too scared that it will end up being red because the logical people will push red. And so I'm just dooming myself to die and not really helping the blue people, but at the same time, maybe that's what the other logical people are thinking too, so if we all thought something else, we could save the world. I don't know. That's all I got.
I can't believe there were so many thoughts there around.
Sorry.
Oh, trash.
I had zero thoughts.
I read 1,000 different tweets about this. It's been fun hearing everybody's opinions about it. Also,
I didn't even think about any of that.
I just want to let you know we all knew there were zero thoughts going on.
Yeah,
there were zero. I mean, in my mind, if red is you survive, my assumption is most people want to live.
But most people probably didn't quite understand that implication of
it.
Yeah,
I guess there's
one of the interesting things was I saw a few people rerun the poll, but instead of it being framed this way, they framed it the other direction where they said,
okay,
you and all the people in the world are standing above a giant wood chipper. If more than 50% of you jump into it, it gets blocked. But if you don't jump in, you live. And then, the poll greatly shifted because people were like, well, I don't want to jump into a wood chipper. That seems stupid. Right. I can just stand right here. And so then it, completely flipped. On some of them I saw it was, 75% chose, the red version now instead. Because they were like, well, that's dumb. I don't want to jump into a wood chipper.
I literally read it as, do you want to live or maybe want to live?
Well, right. So it was interesting because a lot of it felt like it comes down to the thing. Actually, what's funny, going back to the thing with the New York Times stuff, is you can make polls give you whatever answer you want depending on how you ask the question. So if you ask the question in a way that frames it, that choosing blue shows that you're a high trust society, people desire to live in high trust society and they pick blue. If you framed it the other way, where it was, hey, I trust everyone that we're all going to pick red and not be really dumb, and we're just going to pick red and survive, then like the answer might have been flipped, right? Like where you get the opposite answer. So it was very like, that was one of the very interesting things, was just talking about like framing of polls and like how that happens. And then also the other really weird thing, Prime, I don't know if you saw this as well, like every poll ended up like 58-42 in favor of blue. So like everybody.
Mr. Beast has one with 254,000 votes and blue's at 55.8.
Yeah.
The thing is that there's no consequences to you voting here. This is all hypothetical.
Great point,
so people
Trash.
So people could just push blue just to intentionally skew these numbers. So, like you're gonna ask me to trust all these people so I seem more virtuous? Like I don't know.
I was the thing. A lot of people are like, "See, blue always wins." Blah blah blah. For me, like 58-42 on a poll with literally nobody's life is actually on the line. It is not actually a very conclusive result. The other framing that was very interesting for a thought experiment was pressing the button for your family. So like, do you press blue and then your whole family's in the blue, or red and your whole family's in red, right? Like your kids and your wife or whatever. Right. Or like, because it was so funny when I showed Kayleen this last night. To like, I wanted to just see she's not online at all. Basically, I was like, "Hey, what would be your answer to the poll?" She reads it and she's like, "Wait, shouldn't everyone just pick red?" Like instantly, that was her. She was like, "I don't understand what the big dilemma is," and the internet's freaking out. And it was very funny because I was like, "Oh, hold on, there's 20 billion impressions going on right now about this conversation."
To be fair, though, has she left anything in the sink recently?
No.
Okay.
I'm the sink lever. Trash would be doing receipts. His receipts app would be full at my house if he was taking photos.
Ridiculous.
So I am on Trash's initial side, which is blue? That I don't want to devote time or thought to this type of problem because it's not real. Because the fact that 25% of the people would jump into a wood chipper does not map to reality, because if there was a legitimate wood chipper in front of you with grinding gears and everything, people are going to be like, I'm going to jump in that shit because we're all jumping, right?
On
like,
the count of three, guys. On the count of three. 1, 2.
Not a chance. Like, right, that number would be zero is my assumption. And so I think
no, the number would not be zero. I would like to challenge that assertion. And the reason for that is
there's insane people.
Because somebody will get out their cell phone and start streaming live their jump into the wood chipper.
It'll be on Kick for sure.
When that is the highest rated TikTok all of a sudden, before they pull it down because it's effectively a snuff film, then all the influencers are like, I've got to get to the wood chipper to like make sure that I get into it before they turn it off, right? That will definitely happen. So there will be some small percentage of influencers in the wood chipper. Other than that,
but then all the people that like the influencers will be like, dude, I want to be with my influencer in the wood chipper.
Yes. So there'll be some portion of the populace who will be in the wood chipper for the likes, but everyone else, I agree, would stay on the cliff.
Yeah. So that's kind of my thought process, which is if it's displayed that way, it doesn't really, there's just no way that any rational person, even partially sane person, would jump into the wood chipper. Like, I would expect the crazy guy on the street yelling at nobody would probably not jump into the wood chipper because he'd be like, like that thing's terrifying, right? Like just natural instincts would kick in at that point that you can't even stop. And so, but the greater one, which is people arguing over, does this mean that if you don't vote blue, you don't believe in like a high trust society? I think I saw on one random YouTube video about someone being like, well, Plato and Socrates and Marcus Aurelius would all vote for blue, whereas Hitler would vote for red because blah, 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 like one's individualistic, whereas the other one's like, we all move together as a society. But then you have to think like, well, what kind of society is it that we would create in which people would automatically think we would all jump to our death? Like, to get, like, I just don't understand that as a society. Like, as a society, you would assume we'd go, Okay, let's pick the best option. What's the best option? The guaranteed no death option.
Well, and I'd add a chaser to that, Prime, which is that in what universe are you imagining that there is a high-trust society that we've created that then nonetheless went through the trouble of building a giant death machine that prevents people with a button, records everyone who pushed the button, and then kills all the people who pushed blue if not enough people pushed it? You're like, that doesn't sound very high-trust to me at all, right? Like, I don't know about that. So the two things can't exist in the same universe, right? And so that's another reason why it doesn't make very much sense.
This will be a Mr. Beast game, though. Mr. Beast games, too.
Yes.
There's going to be some like, hey, if you're guaranteed to go
so
on.
Right. You're so right.
I can't wait to watch
I
it.
thought he was
You are
maybe
so
gonna,
right, dude.
I thought he was going to go somewhere and actually, like, he has to kill the people for real.
yeah, right. Some island in the middle of the Pacific that's just far enough
It's
away.
his private island, international waters. He's got his own.
Yep.
Everyone signed the waiver,
Oh, that's
and
awful.
it's coming, Trash, to an internet near you. I'm sure, unfortunately. The other really interesting question, Prime, that I thought was does it so what if instead of 50% needed to press blue, what if it was like 75% or like 85%? Like, there's a really, like, where is the curve where you would step off and be like, I don't think, like, if you were a blue presser, like, where would you step off and be like, there ain't no way 97% of the people are picking blue? Also, thinking then that less people are going to pick it. Because hilariously, people are like, well, the odds are 50-50. I'm like, that's not how it works. Just because there's two choices, that doesn't mean that it's 50-50. But when you switch the odds to being like, oh, you got to get 80%, like, where is it that people would step off the blue train, which is also really like an interesting thought experiment. Yeah. So I don't know. I want
to know the curve. Like, how fast does it dive after 50?
Right. Is 55% enough to be like 100% of people pick red? Basically, like.
Well, we kind of know not, because like in the wood chipper gruesome one, it still only went 25%, where you're just like, wow, 25% of the people are just going to jump into a wood chipper? Like, what? Like, okay.
I actually refuse to believe that one.
Me too. Like, it doesn't make sense.
25% of the people are trolling on the internet.
I also kind of assumed that the poll would be for people, like, if you're taking a poll and you have to press buttons, we have this magical world. I was assuming it's people of sound mind. You know what I mean? It's like, we're not asking a baby to press blue or red. That doesn't make any sense. I thought they were going to be dispelled from that, because someone was like, well, what if your kids press blue? I'm like, how are my kids pressing the button? I don't know. That didn't seem like it was part of the original equation.
These are one of these things I just would like to purge from my brain immediately.
Okay, then we can be done, Trash.
Like, I feel like details are things like, I find one of the reasons I find these kinds of things so annoying, like the trolley problem, is just because they just don't tell you anything. Humans don't make decisions by doing like first order Boolean logic. That's not like how it works. Period.
Maybe Sam Altman.
Yeah.
He might, but his company doesn't, right? Like the AIs he's making are non-linear. Right?
Goblin mode.
You know what I'm saying?
I really want to figure out this goblin mode business.
We gotta have a goblin mode episode where you get some good goblin stuff for us. But
yeah, we'll figure that out this week.
So I just feel like it's so dumb, because it's just like it's pretending like you're trying to assess some aspect of human nature when really what you're doing is just purely masturbatory. It has nothing to do with human nature, because the way that humans make decisions is a very like in programming terms, it's very floating point. It's very non-linear. It's very like there's a bunch of things that are all coming together to make decisions, and it's not about like, okay, try to imagine a world in which you're on a trolley, the trolley can't be stopped, you're not normally a trolley operator, you're just somebody who like suddenly is the only person near the trolley controls.
Arbiter of
you
trolley.
You can somehow see 2 tracks ahead of you clearly enough to tell what's on each of them, and you can tell that there's more people on one of the tracks than the other, and you're just like, okay, anyone who's ever been in a situation where shit got out of control, like a runaway trolley, knows that you are just screaming and like pushing things randomly to try to get it to stop. That's what's actually happening in human nature. Nobody is going like, like, gosh, what do you... Gee, Nigel, what do you see up there on the second track? Are there more humans on the left one or the right one? It's like, that's not happening. Right?
But how did they get tied?
Who tied them there?
Process.
Yeah.
Let's find the tying guy.
What's going on? Yeah, and like, why are we talking about this? So it's so bad, right?
All right,
and
can I jump in for a second? I am reading through some of Twitch chat, and there are some people very bothered about us not picking blue.
Okay.
And the reason being is that why would we not want to try to save everybody's life?
Well, there's this thing called Darwin, you see. And if we had one where everyone pushed red, then at least we know that, like, everyone is just making a minimally rational choice. So I do think there's some argument to be said for it's like, all right, it's not just that if you pick blue, you're crossing your fingers and hoping that you end up in a high trust society. You could also just want to live in a very rational society. And that seems like is equally valid choice here, right? It's like, it's fine, right? Like, that just seems like a totally rational thing to do in that case. It's sort of like asking, like, you know, why do people sometimes want to go to war? Like, yeah, human nature is kind of messy. You don't have to always pick the thing that seems the maximally pacifistic thing or something like that. You might just be like, yeah, you know, like, self-preservation is important to me. I think everyone should know well enough to push this button. If people, for some reason, don't even want to have self-preservation, like, they're not willing to push the red because they're just hoping everyone pushed blue, it's like, I don't like that. Like, I don't want to live in that world. I want to live in the world where everyone's sensible enough to push red. That seems totally fine with me. Like I said, I don't know which one I would push. I think I said kind of before, I really don't know. But I think the case for blue is overblown, right? Like, suggesting that somehow that's like this perfectly virtuous thing to do, that just sounds very like fanciful to me. Because it's like, okay, you want to live in a world where people are pushing the blue button knowing that they're putting their lives at risk because you just think it's good for them to put their lives at risk in a thing where nothing happened. There wasn't even like a good thing attached to it. It wasn't like we all survive and we get a little more prosperity. Like, there wasn't a chaser to it that was like, and it's like, it's just bad. All you're doing is putting your life at risk for no benefit. Why do I want to encourage that behavior, right? So, I don't know. I think the case is overblown.
We also have people saying if Prime would think only what would C.S. Lewis do, he'd push the blue button without a thought. Like, I don't know if I can really say what somebody else would do. It is very, very confusing thing because the problem with this is that the problem that I have is that people have set up this theoretical world in their mind that massive amounts of people are pressing a blue button. Like, I just don't, it's not even about pressing, in my head at least, it's not about like, oh, either you're a good or bad person if you press red or blue. And so some of the arguments are like, oh, the only logical choice is to press the blue, like the red button, because there's plus 50% evil people. Like, I don't think you're evil if you press the red button. I'm just confused as to the point of all of this being there is only one right answer.
Well, to rephrase it as the wood chipper, too. It's like, do you want to live in a world where a bunch of people are going to jump off a cliff into a wood chipper because they think it's virtuous that if they all do it together, they won't die? It's like, no, that just suggests to me that most of my time spent as a citizen in that world is going to be going around trying to convince people just to take basic precautions to keep themselves safe because they think that the way the world works is that everyone in the whole world is looking out for their safety all the time. I don't really think that's a great way to go. Like, I would rather people, when presented with an easy way to make sure that they're okay, that the only people it puts at risk is people who wouldn't make a similar choice, like wouldn't put their own safety as a primary concern for them, which literally imperils nobody else except people who aren't willing to do that. It just, in a way, I might almost cast blue pressers as selfish. They're basically wanting the rest of the world to do their work for them, right? They're not willing to push red, which is the sensible choice here that doesn't require anyone else to do anything to ensure your safety. But you're like, no, I would rather push the blue button and force everyone else to like put their personal safety on the line for nothing, right? Nothing at all. We get no gain. It's just so that other people can feel good about pushing the blue button. It feels selfish. It feels a little bit selfish now that I'm thinking it through to push the blue button.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I was actually thinking about a movie scenario where I get kidnapped by the blue people.
Oh,
and
nice.
There's like 4 hours left to finish voting, and they're like, you have to push blue or we kill your family right now.
Yeah.
Or you pick blue and they potentially live. I don't know. That's literally all I was thinking about the past like 20 minutes.
I would think this
Netflix,
question
so you
would
could
make
get
a lot
this
more
greenlit.
sense
Yeah.
if there was like some sort of negative action associated with red as well. Like, hey, not only do you, if you press red, not only does this happen, but it forces, someone else to press blue, and there must be 75% of people who press blue, or, like, then you're like, okay, well, now you're creating a situation in which I'm hurting somebody else.
Well, another way to look at it, like I said, is attach some positive thing to the blue pushing, right? So, in other words, if you push red, you're guaranteed to live. If you push blue, you will only live if more than 50% of the people push it, but you will have increased prosperity. Like there will be no more starvation. Like there will be no more food shortages in the world. It'll just be, everyone will be able to eat food and live. Now I start to see the case. Now it does sound to me like, okay, if we live in a high trust society, we have this chance to do something beneficial, but we all have to buy into it, or a high percentage of us have to buy into it in order to make it work. Now that's sounding more rational. But the people who are making this case for the blue button as if it's somehow more virtuous seem to be in their head attaching a fake benefit to it. But there is no benefit. The only benefit is saving people who pushed blue for no reason. That's the only benefit. They all could have pushed red, and all they're really doing is forcing you to be charitable for nothing, right? And again, that just doesn't sound like positive to me. That doesn't sound like a positive outcome. I still don't know, because like I said at the beginning when I was talking about what I would push, I'm like, I am worried about the fact that I think a lot of people will push blue just because of human nature. So at that point, you're kind of like, gosh, I don't want to kill all those people, so I'm going to push blue. But that's not because I thought it was virtuous. That's just because I think people are doing something kind of dumb.
Yes.
Right. So then that would be, yes, that is the sort of, that's been my big, like, I've been going back and forth in my head a lot about it, because you're like, you feel, I don't think pushing blue makes me like a good person, but it would be like in that I think there's a good chance a lot of other people do it, and so I would prefer to save them over the other alternative. But like also, it's also like, do I get to talk to my kids and my wife first? Like, like I get that it's a private vote and I can't know what the vote is going to be, but like, do I know, like, because if my kids are going to push red, then I want to push red to make sure I'm there to be able to take care of them. You know what I mean? Right? Like that would be the selfless thing to do in some way.
And if they push blue, you might want to be pushing blue to increase the odds that they survive, right? And so
yes.
If someone's very like tribally oriented, they're going to want to know what the other people in whatever their tribe is are doing, because that may affect their decision, right? That's totally a valid way to approach it as well.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know.
This got real deep.
Trash, no matter what though, this was worth talking about just for the intro for this topic. Thank you so much for that. That was a gift to the internet, really.
Personally, I think we could cut this entire conversation except for the trash part.
That's almost what I was thinking. I feel like that's funnier.
It was the only, basically, the clip for this show should just be that trash part, because it was amazing. And the reasoning was so much better. Like, in all honesty, that's way better reasoning than any of this other stuff. It's just because it's, like I said, I think these kind of questions are totally masturbatory. They have nothing to do with what people would actually do in a real scenario that presented them with a choice that, as similar as the choices you could get to this, which is pretty far-fetched to begin with. I love the thing. It's like I hate red. I'm pushing blue.
Yeah, that
so
made
good.
me.
It's so good.
Trash.
I also missed the whole explanation too.
No, but you missed it twice. That's on you the second time to miss it the second time.
And because saying button, because you were saying button
for
wrong.
that though. I had excuses for the second one.
He had excuses, guys. Also, I will say, Trash, you doing that made me think, dang, I really have to press blue. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, fine. There's gonna be.
Then I'll maybe see you later.
Honestly,
I'll be
it
here.
is true. Trash has done more for me pressing blue than anything else has.
I don't have anything else.
Great episode of the stand-up.
Was it?
Yeah.
Thanks to trash, maybe. Thanks to trash.
I laughed a lot.
Yeah, that was great. The Wikipedia stuff, I had no idea about that. I thought, I was under the same impression that trash was that anyone could edit it, and there's just like some sort of ownership of whoever was the first person.
No.
Some sort of Stack Overflow karma system going on.
It's more, Wikipedia is more like an aristocracy. There's like certain editors who are like, have the official Wikipedia power, and they go around just doing stuff. And if they don't like your language or your politics or your whatever the page is about, then you just there's nothing you can do about it.
They just write a Wired article, then change the page. See, actually, no.
Look, you can game the system. You absolutely can if you have access to the media.
Wired says that the Bible's not actually historically accurate, so therefore...
To bring this back to programming, that's like one of my favorite stories from Began, where he wanted, this was when he was on his Ruby on Rails era. He really wanted to patch the global string class to like do some fun stuff for them to make to make something more elegant or whatever. And the code reviewer was like, bro, we are not patching the string global. That's crazy. So Began went home, different account, makes a Ruby gem, publishes the Ruby gem, goes back to work, adds the Ruby gem as a dependency. Nobody reads dependencies. Check, it's in. He got exactly what he was looking for. That's the Wikipedia strategy, guys. Get a quick job at Wired, you can be notable.
Yep.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
I do like that. By the way, if anyone from Wired wants to write a quick article so I get a Wikipedia page.
Notable red button pusher, the Primogen.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep. Also, we didn't even address whole colorblind people. Like, that could be very dangerous. If it's a dark enough shade of blue, like, that could really be a dangerous place we're in.
Can we get a Wired article that's like the YouTube personality who told his 1 million followers to press the red button?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Noted
I had no idea
misanthrope,
about this
the
question going
Primogen.
viral. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it's really easy to do thoughtful masturbation, as Casey would say.
It's so masturbatory. I hate those. I hate them so much. I hate these the red blue button question. I hate the trolley problem. All of these things are just so bad, and I'm just like, don't. Like, just stop. Only you can prevent masturbatory philosophical nonsense, kids.
Is that Smokey the Bear reference right there?
Yeah, it's Smokey the Bear, Smokey the Philosopher.
Smokey the
God knows they're all
masturbatorial
something.
philosopher.
Yeah, like Smokey the Philosopher, he heads down to the head shop and he buys like some stiff weed, and he just like makes this shit up. Right? Like, he's just like, oh man, what if there were like 2 buttons and like everyone in the world had to like push 1 or 2? But you're like, shut up! Just shut up! You are wasting everyone's time with this crap, right?
That's when I go, I hate red, bro.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Trash's answer is the only valid answer. Trash's answer is the only valid answer. No thought should be given.
We're sorry for bringing it up.
I'm usually always right, to be honest.
Bye-bye.
Bye.